My pregnant sister accused me of inappropriate behavior with her husband during my graduation celebration, but he revealed her infidelity and disclosed that the baby wasn't his, leading to a physical altercation that shattered my bond with her. Last Saturday, I graduated from nursing school, a milestone for our family as I'm the first to earn a degree. My parents hosted a grand party at their home, inviting extended relatives, college friends, and neighbors to honor this achievement and thank those who supported me. My sister Emily, 24 and 8 months pregnant, attended with her husband Dennis, married for 3 years. I assumed everything would go well since Emily seemed excited about my success and even volunteered to assist Mom with decorations. Emily has always craved the spotlight, often stealing attention at family events, like revealing her engagement during our cousin's wedding or announcing her pregnancy at our grandmother's 80th birthday. She frequently posts exaggerated updates online to garner sympathy. The party was a success, with guests congratulating me on my nursing degree, discussing job opportunities, and enjoying Dad's BBQ and a lavish cake Mom ordered. I was chatting with friends near the patio when Emily abruptly rose from her seat beside Dennis, marched toward us with a resolute look, and confronted me. She pointed at me and loudly declared in front of everyone that I'd been flirting with Dennis all evening, trying to undermine her while she was pregnant and fragile. The party fell silent, conversations halting. Emily escalated, shouting that I was a terrible sister, envious of her marriage, and intent on destroying her family out of bitterness over my single status. I tried explaining I'd barely interacted with Dennis beyond a greeting, but she interrupted, growing louder, claiming she saw me touch his arm and laugh inappropriately at his remarks. Dennis stood silently, visibly uneasy, as guests stared. My parents hurried over, alarmed by Emily's voice carrying across the yard. I urged her to calm down and stop humiliating herself, but she persisted, crying about feeling betrayed by her own family. Suddenly, Dennis, who'd been quiet and staring at the ground, spoke up, revealing Emily's infidelity and questioning the baby's paternity. Gasps echoed through the crowd as he disclosed finding texts on her phone 3 weeks earlier from a man named Randall, with whom she'd been unfaithful for months. The pregnancy timeline aligned with her affair. Emily screamed that Dennis was lying to shift blame, but he began reading explicit messages from his phone as she tried to snatch it. The texts detailed romantic and intimate encounters, including hotel meetups during Dennis's late work shifts and Emily's concerns about the pregnancy's paternity. Emily sobbed, insisting the messages were misconstrued, but Dennis continued, exposing her deceit. Overwhelmed by years of Emily's attention-seeking antics, I lost control, furious that she'd ruined my special day with baseless claims. I pushed Emily, causing her to stumble against a table. As she regained balance, I grabbed her shoulders, shaking her and yelling that she was a selfish liar who couldn't let anyone else shine. Emily fought back, pulling my hair as I slapped her face, leading to a chaotic brawl in front of stunned guests. My dad and uncles separated us while Mom wept, pleading for us to stop. Emily clutched her belly, accusing me of endangering her baby, though I avoided striking her stomach. I screamed that she'd destroyed my celebration with her lies. Dennis watched passively, then announced he was leaving, telling Emily to find her own ride home as he was done with her manipulation. He stormed out as Emily begged him to stay, then turned to our parents, demanding they choose between her and me. The party ended abruptly, with guests leaving awkwardly within half an hour. My parents were heartbroken that my milestone event had collapsed into chaos, spending the evening piecing together the events. Emily arranged for a friend to pick her up since Dennis took their car, crying that everyone was against her and accusing me of jealousy. I helped my parents clean up, devastated that my joyous occasion had been tainted. Was I wrong for reacting as I did? Edit. Additional context. Many have asked about the escalation and Emily's behavior, so I'll clarify our relationship and her history of attention-seeking that led to this. Emily and I were never close due to her constant need for attention, which disrupted family gatherings throughout our childhood. As kids, she'd pretend to be ill on my birthday to divert parental focus or cry about being bullied when I had friends over, ensuring she was comforted instead. As adults, her tactics grew manipulative. She announced her engagement at our cousin Megan's wedding by flashing her ring during speeches, overshadowing the bride. At our grandmother's 80th birthday dinner, she stood to declare her pregnancy, turning the event into a discussion about her due date. Dennis, a reserved mechanic, avoids drama and rarely engages in family conflicts, making his outburst at the party shocking. My anger stemmed not only from Emily's false accusations, but also from her ruining a celebration of my hard-earned nursing degree. Nursing school was grueling, requiring me to juggle studies with a part-time job while living at home to save money. I doubted my academic ability after high school struggles, but persevered to build a stable future. My graduation was a historic moment for our family, and my parents meticulously planned the party to honor my journey and supporters. Emily knew this and still fabricated a scandal. Update 1. 4 days later. Yesterday, I confronted my parents about Emily's behavior and their role in enabling it. I argued they shared blame for the party's disaster by always insisting we maintain a facade of family unity instead of addressing Emily's actions. They've long believed conflicts should stay private, urging me to overlook Emily's antics for harmony. When Emily hijacked her engagement at Megan's wedding, they called me petty for objecting, saying Megan wouldn't care long-term. After her pregnancy announcement at Grandma's birthday, I raised concerns, but they dismissed me as jealous, insisting Emily was just excited. I told them this leniency emboldened Emily to make false accusations at my party, humiliating our family before friends and relatives. Their focus on unity had taught Emily she could act without repercussions. Dad defended their equal treatment, but I countered that ignoring issues isn't fairness, and that their inaction led to the public spectacle. The drama tarnished our family's standing, potentially deterring future gatherings. Mom admitted she hadn't realized how Emily's actions hurt me, mistaking my frustration for rivalry. She regretted prioritizing peace over accountability. I demanded they show change by requiring Emily to publicly apologize to party guests for her lies and disruption before I'd attend events with her. Dad asked what a public apology entailed. I specified Emily must contact all attendees, admit her accusations were false, apologize for the drama, and regret making guests uncomfortable. After an hour's discussion, my parents banned Emily from family events until she complied. They planned to call her and inform relatives of their stance. Mom wanted to apologize to my college friends, asking for their contacts to clarify Emily's actions weren't our family's values. That evening, they called Emily, who cried, claiming abandonment during her vulnerable pregnancy. She justified her accusations as hormonal paranoia, blaming Dennis's distance. My parents insisted her behavior was unacceptable, upholding the ban until she apologized. Emily hung up and hasn't responded since, typical when she doesn't get her way. Update 2. Days later. Dennis followed through, demanding a prenatal paternity test, and results yesterday confirmed he isn't the baby's father. Emily called our parents, sobbing, saying Dennis evicted her and filed for divorce, unwilling to raise another man's child. Since the party, Dennis had been distant, sleeping separately. After the results, he felt betrayed, ending the marriage. Emily, 38 weeks pregnant, has no savings for an apartment, and friends have distanced themselves due to her actions. She begged to move back home temporarily. My parents, torn after banning her, asked my opinion. Despite our conflict, I said the baby shouldn't suffer for Emily's mistakes, supporting her temporary stay for safety. I insisted on boundaries, including the apology requirement, and warned against manipulation. They agreed, allowing Emily to stay in her old room until 6 weeks postpartum. Emily moved in with minimal belongings, crying constantly, claiming her life collapsed. Dennis will cover prenatal costs but not post-birth expenses, demanding she remove her items soon. Emily's attempts to contact Randall, the biological father, failed. He's married, with kids, and denies responsibility. My parents are overwhelmed by Emily's emotional demands as she seeks their guidance on legal, medical, and financial matters. I've avoided their home to prevent tension, checking in with Mom and offering resources for Emily's transition to independence. Final update. 1 year later. A year after the party that ended my relationship with Emily and exposed her deceit, here's the resolution. Emily gave birth to a healthy girl, Grace, 3 weeks after moving home. Dennis supported her during labor but declined any parental role. Their divorce finalized 8 months ago, with Dennis keeping the house and Emily receiving a small settlement for legal fees and Grace's college fund. Dennis handled the divorce fairly despite his pain. Emily never issued the public apology, remaining at our parents' home instead of seeking independence. Struggling with depression, she couldn't fully care for Grace, so my parents gained legal custody, becoming her primary caregivers while Emily works part-time retail. Randall refuses paternity acknowledgement or support, fighting Emily's legal efforts to avoid disrupting his family. Even if successful, child support won't cover her living expenses. My relationship with Emily remains distant. She hasn't apologized or acknowledged her actions. Our few interactions are polite but strained. She believes the party incident was overblown, casting herself as the victim. My parents, burdened by raising Grace in their late 50s, show signs of stress, worried about their health and retirement. I help with Grace's care and expenses but maintain boundaries with Emily. Grace deserves family love, but I won't excuse Emily's behavior.